Big relief for Shinde and his Sena. Supreme Court puts disqualification proceedings on hold. Notice to Uddhav government and Deputy Speaker. Uddhav and Shinde stare at prolonged face-off. Supreme Sena war.
It's been 1 week since the Maharashtra crisis began, but it looks like another 10 days that this could stretch out. Relief for the Shinde Sena, but their luxury rebel vacation in Guwahati, Assam looks to be an extended affair till at least the 11th of July, unless something drastic happens before that. Hectic developments in Supreme Court today. Who's got the advantage? And are we anywhere closer to answering the question, Kaun banega Senapati? And who will be the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra? I'm Shiv Sena. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do the best as always to answer some of those questions. But we're going to begin with Rajdeep Sardesai, a consulting editor who has with us live Deepak Kesarkar, one of the most prominent rebel MLAs, speaking live and exclusive on the big developments. Live with Rajdeep. Let's go straight.
And joining us now is a special guest from Guwahati. I'm joined by Deepak Kesarkar. He is becoming the spokesperson virtually of the rebel Sena MLAs. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Kesarkar. Let's get this first very clear. The Supreme Court today has now given you a breather. You don't need to reply to the disqualification notice issued by the Deputy Speaker in the Maharashtra Assembly right away. In fact, the next hearing is now only on the 11th of July. In the meantime, are you ready now to approach the governor and go in for a vote of no confidence against the Uddhav Thackeray government, since you are claiming you have the numbers now, Mr. Kesarkar?
Sir, we'll have to consult the legal experts, and if required, we may take that decision.
Sir, you are saying you want to consult the legal experts. My question to you is, you have claimed you have the support of 39 Shiv Sena MLAs, plus you have another dozen independent MLAs. So you are in a position to bring down the Uddhav Thackeray government. What is stopping you from going to the governor, Mr. Kesarkar, if you have the numbers now, and saying, please bring in a no confidence motion, this government is in a minority? What is stopping you?
Sir, there are certain strategies which are to be strategized, which are to be decided by the top leadership, and they are into that process. And I don't think that at this point of time we should disclose it, but I can definitely thank for this result and the relief for our MLAs. And this is in a way victory for the democracy in Maharashtra.
But I will still ask you, Mr. Kesarkar, now that this matter has been prolonged till 11th of July, are you telling me that Maharashtra will have to wait to see what happens till the 11th of July? Because you have been in the Guwahati hotel, some of you now, for the last almost a week now. So I come back to it, what are you waiting for? You have the numbers. What is it? What is it that is preventing you from taking this step of going to the governor and saying Uddhav Thackeray has lost a majority, sir?
Sir, there are two ways. Either we'll have to go, otherwise, as a tradition, they will have to admit that they don't have the number, they should step down, and then we will form our government. If they don't do that within next 1 or 2 days, then we'll think about our strategy.
No, let me get that straight. If the Uddhav Thackeray government does not go in for a floor test, you will go to the governor and demand a floor test after 2 days. Is that what you are saying? Your bookings in the hotel are till the 30th of June at least. So are you telling me come 1st of July, you will come to Mumbai, meet the governor and seek a floor test, sir?
Sir, that is a strategy. As I told you, it was almost like a war. They were trying to disqualify us. Every way they tried it. but finally we had a justice, and I think they should take a lesson from this. They should step down. It would become more graceful, and that is my request to them.
You are asking Uddhav Thackeray ji to gracefully exit without facing the floor test, Kesarkar ji. Is that what you are saying? Uddhav Thackeray on his own should step down?
Certainly, I feel that we have a great tradition. We have the example of Yashwantrao Chavan ji, who were called to take the oath as a prime minister. Then he was the leader of the largest party in Lok Sabha, but he very politely refused it, saying that I don't have the number, because anybody could have occupied that place, stayed there for 1 month, and then he could have submitted his resignation. But Maharashtra is a great tradition, and we will have to follow the tradition. Which makes you great?
Sir, you are talking of Maharashtra's great tradition. Maharashtra's great tradition also does not include sitting in a resort in Guwahati for the last 5 days. Uddhav Thackeray's camp is saying, why doesn't Mr. Kesarkar, why doesn't Eknath Shinde come to Mumbai? This should be all settled in the Maharashtra Assembly on the floor of the House. Your claim that you have a majority of MLAs cannot be settled in a Guwahati hotel, sir. It has to be settled on the floor of the House.
First thing, that they have appealed to their workers to come on the road. Previously, they wanted to take the decision on the road. In a democracy, any decision which is to be taken is taken on the floor of the House. And if they don't understand that, and if they insist on coming on the road, I think first thing is to maintain the law and order in Maharashtra, and then we will very happily go there, because these were the tactics to put psychological pressure on our MLAs, where they have failed miserably. And now I think they should accept their defeat and they should step down.
So you are saying they should accept the defeat. In the same case, you have written a letter to Uddhav Thackeray, and I will quote from the letter, saying this is a fight for Shiv Sena's self-esteem. We shall not stop till we win it. I request our party chief Shri Uddhavji Thackeray to consider view and make a new alliance with the BJP. Here you are writing to Uddhav Thackeray saying form an alliance with the BJP. Now you are telling me Uddhav Thackeray should step down. Is Uddhavji still your leader, or is Eknath Shinde now your leader? Are you now a new party led by Eknath Shinde, or are you still with the Shiv Sena of Uddhav Thackeray?
We are very much in Shiv Sena. We are the legislative party of Shiv Sena. We have a different existence, and Uddhavji still remains our party chief as the chief of Shiv Sena party, and I have requested him, because his present government is in alliance with Congress and NCP. Unless he gives his resignation and asks us to form a new government with his consent with BJP, then only this government will come into existence, and that will become more graceful.
So you are calling Uddhav Thackeray to resign, then to join hands once again with the BJP and form a new government. A new government headed by whom? By Uddhav Thackeray or Devendra Fadnavis or Eknath Shinde? Who will be the chief minister of this new government?
That would be decided by the top leadership. Our group leader is Mr. Shinde. Whatever Shinde decides, we abide by it.
So you are saying that Uddhav Thackeray should leave the BJP, should leave the MVA alliance, join hands with the BJP, and then Eknath Shinde will decide what happens, or will Uddhav Thackeray decide? Are you saying that Eknath Shinde now is the leader of the Shiv Sena and Uddhav Thackeray must listen to Eknath Shinde?
I am not saying that. Eknath ji also respects Uddhav ji. He also respects and like a god, Babasaheb Thackeray and then Anand Dighe. So I don't think there is any dispute. And initially, Uddhav Sahib wanted to make him the CM of Maharashtra. He has spoken to him like that. But when Pawarji insisted that he should become the CM, then the things changed, And without his wish, he became the CM. He very efficiently fought the COVID, and we are proud of him. But now that 2.5 years are over, so he will have to decide. If and we had gone before the people of Maharashtra as a combination of BJP and Sena, and they have voted us like that. So that is the public mandate, as per which the next 2.5 years we really request that we must form a government, and the Maharashtra should progress, because when the central and the state are hands in hand, definitely there is a better way to for the prosperous Maharashtra. We can take Maharashtra to greater heights.
Sir, but who will be the chief minister? Apparently, the deal is Devendra Fadnavis as chief minister, Eknath Shinde as deputy chief minister. Have you already struck this deal with the BJP?
I cannot say like that. I'll have to honestly here tell you that these decisions are taken on higher levels. So I'm just a party spokesman, and that means these groups, and that is our actually party in the Legislative Assembly. So my role is limited, and I think that I have today written the letter.
But Mr. Kesarkar, you are saying you are a new group.
Yeah, I'm not. We are not a new
No,
group.
Mr. Kesarkar,
Actually,
you are saying you are a new group. Again, sir, just a minute. You are, Mr. Kesarkar, you are saying you are a new group, but a new group to avoid the anti-defection laws may well need to merge with some party. Are you ready to merge with the BJP? Is that a possibility?
Let me complete, sir. We are not a new group. We are the original legislative assembly party of Shiv Sena, because it contained 55 members, 56 members initially. One of our MLA, he expired unfortunately. Now we are 55. So that 55 or 56 people had unanimously chosen Eknath Shinde as their leader. So that position stays. It has not changed, and 14 or 15 people cannot change that position. So we are the original group. The 14 people which are left in Mumbai, they will have to work under Eknath Shinde ji, and they will also have to follow the whip issued by the legislative party. That is what I feel, and it should be the as per law,
Yes.
I think.
Sir, but Uddhav Thackeray ji's group has named Ajay Chaudhary as the leader of the legislature party and not Eknath Shinde. They have removed him. Now the decision is left with the deputy speaker to recognize who is the leader of the legislature party. You have challenged that decision of the deputy speaker. No decision yet has been taken on that. So can you claim today to be the original, to be the official Shiv Sena party or not? That also decision may go to the court. This matter will get further prolonged.
Clear-cut decisions. In Ram Paswan case, it is clearly said what your what is written in your party's formation, it is not binding. Whatever there is in the constitution is binding on the house. So it is clearly mentioned. Whatever your party's constitution says, the actual constitution supersedes everything. So it is very clear, and I'm sure there should not be any dispute, because it is decided matter.
Sir, let me ask you two final questions. One is the fear that is being expressed by many people in the Shiv Sena, or their claim that many of you have gone to Guwahati not because of any ideological reasons. You have gone because many of you have ED cases against you. Many of you have serious investigations going on. You are trying to protect yourself. This is not about ideology. This is because you have struck a deal with the BJP. All ED cases, all IT cases will now be put on the back burner if you join hands with the BJP.
Sir, it is not at all like that. If you could claim, there could be 2 or 3 ED cases on our MLA, but we are 50. Right now 51. How that number could come to 51? Sir, it is clear cut. We have told to our party chief that we do not go ahead with this NCP and Congress alliance, and we want Sena to be with BJP. Number of times we have told him the matter was delayed, and because of that delay, we have come to this situation. Otherwise, it would have happened 1 year back, 1 year and 1 or 2 months, maybe.
You are saying that this alliance could have, the MVA alliance could have broken down 1 year ago, Mr. Kesarkar. I will ask you again. The fact, Mr. Kesarkar, at the moment is you yourself have been an opponent of Narayan Rane, the union minister who is with the BJP in the Sawantwadi, Konkan area. You have been in other parties as well. Is there any ideology in Maharashtra's politics? Is this purely about power? You are saying it is about Hindutva. But when Uddhav Thackeray ji broke with the BJP and formed the MVA government in November 2019, none of you objected. You were not made a minister. That's why, according to Sanjay Raut, that is your problem. You are aggrieved because of that. All of you have personal reasons. Why didn't any of you object in November 2019 when you were when Uddhav Thackeray formed this government with the MVA, with NCP, with Congress?
Nothing of that, sir. If you could see the pictures of swearing-in ceremony, I was very much present there. I was never unhappy with Uddhav Sahib for not making me a minister. In fact, I was instrumental in bringing in very important meetings to see that the kind of defaming of Matosri was being done. I was hurt by that. I tried to solve that problem in my own small way. So you cannot say that I was unhappy. Mr. Raut says anything, and Raut is the person who tried to come to Sindhudurga, and you know how he was taken out of Sindhudurga, that big fight against the terror. I have fought it, and for that I was asked to come to Delhi at the PM's office, and the Honorable Defense Minister Parrikar Sahib, he has taken me to Delhi. I convinced him that you will get 50 leaders like me in BJP who are soft-spoken, who could understand, and Shiv Sena may get 1 or 2 leaders like me because it is a party which has come up fighting. So a little aggressiveness will always there be in Shiv Sena. So let me the bridge between you two. And I belong to Maharashtra, so I know the poor people. It is a poor people's party, and I have sacrificed my legacy of big business house, and I have come to this politics to serve people. So, you know, it is my duty to join that party, and I'll become a bridge between the two. That time they were together. He said, "You are right," and I also told him that I respect Modi ji so much that I'll not be able to refuse if he asks me to join the party. And Raut is criticizing me. It is something, you know, sir, I could laugh at it.
But Mr. Kesarkar, Sir, Mr. Kesarkar, why did you all not object in November 2019? Today you are objecting. Today you are saying this, we should form a government based on Hindutva. Why did you not raise a red flag in November 2019? Why only today? Why only now when, as reports are suggesting, ED is now tracking down several of you who are has cases against several of you, and therefore you have chosen this path? Why did you not raise this issue in November of 2019?
I can tell you the answer of this. Sir, we were told that Amit Shah ji has assured 50% sharing of power in Maharashtra, and which is not the commitment that was made is not being honored by BJP, and that is what was told to us by Honorable CM. So Honorable CM's or Uddhav Sahib's pride or his, no, that comes first for us. Our party's pride, the commitments, that comes for us. So it was basically an adjustment to our principles, and then when we realized that these people are going to our own constituencies, declaring somebody as the next MLA, they are going to MP's constituency, they declare that he is going to be our next MP. So they want to finish the party because of whom they have come into power. Actually, people have not voted them into power. They were defeated.
So they meaning who? Sharad Pawar? So when you say they, sir, when you say they want to finish the, no, when you say they want to finish the Shiv Sena, you refer to Sharad Pawar and the NCP? You believe they want to finish the Shiv Sena? You were once with the NCP also?
Sir, I had given my resignation to Pawar Sahib when he asked me to campaign for Mr. Rane's son in the parliament election. But one thing I will like to mention here, that Shiv Sena was broken thrice. Once when Chagar Bhujbal came out, second time when Narayan Rane came out, third time when Raj Thackeray left Shiv Sena. Every time there was a role of Honorable Pawar Sahib in breaking Sena. So I don't expect him to make Sena grow, because he has his own party, NCP. I know how much he loves his party, and his party president have visited several of our constituencies and declared himself. So it was an official announcement. So how we could tell about them? And then they were giving the funds also to them to see that their candidate, they win next time the election. Again, our own candidates who are the representatives of that particular constituencies. And number of times we have brought this fact to the notice of Honorable Uddhav Sahib, but there was no action taken. If you could remember, after Rajya Sabha elections, Mr. Raut took a press conference and mentioned that those from NCP who were supposed to vote for us in that election also didn't vote. Then if they didn't vote, were they questioned? They were not questioned at all. And that anger in the Shiv Sena MLA's mind was aggregated in the member of Legislative Council election, and this has come to now. The other facts, you know, that we have come out of our from Mumbai, we are camping here,
Right.
and you know, this is because of what happened in the past.
Sir, but Kesarkar ji, why don't you come back to Mumbai and do a face-to-face meeting with Uddhav Thackeray? Are you ready for it? Sanjay Raut is saying, why are you all sitting in Guwahati? Come to Mumbai, have a face-to-face meeting with Uddhav Thackeray. If even one of you, according to Uddhav Thackeray, says he is not fit to be CM, he is ready to quit and do what you want. Are you ready for a face-to-face meeting in Mumbai with Uddhav Thackeray, yes or no?
Sir, I had a one-to-one meeting with Uddhav Thackeray when 4 of our senior ministers were present. I briefed him about everything, but we have never asked for his resignation. He is linking two things. It's a kind of emotional blackmailing. Nobody will say that you resign, because he is our leader. We love him, but still, had it been Shiv Sena and BJP in power as per your earlier pact, and it was to be divided 2.5 years, then also he would have resigned and given BJP the chance to form a government. So that was the original understanding. If the original understanding could not take place, that's why Congress and NCP came into picture. But we, from our own mouth, cannot say that you resign, because he is our leader. It is as good as insulting him. So we'll not do that. He will have to think himself, and I think he should have taken the decision. We cannot insist that he should resign. Now the government has lost its majority.
You have any message? You have any message, Mr. Kesarkar, for Mr. Raut? You have any message, Mr. Kesarkar, for Mr. Raut, who is daring you to come to Mumbai, face the reality in Mumbai?
Sir, Mr. Raut's language, you must have realized, it is very indecent language. And on the previous day, he says all Shiv Sainik should come to the road. And next day he appeals us, you come back to Mumbai to face those who are on the road. These kind of tendencies we have faced, sir, in Konkan. But I do not wish to fight with our own people. I want that peace should exist, and that is the responsibility of the elected government, and especially the CM, who is the constitutional head of the state. That is my only plea.
Aditya Thackeray is saying good riddance to bad rubbish. You have a message for Aditya Thackeray?
Sir, the previous day we were traveling in one car. That time he didn't thought that he is traveling with the rubbish. I know people like, Sanjay Rathod. Prior to his marriage day, he was in jail because he was a Sena worker. His in-laws said, you will garland your photograph and that marriage will be performed. Fortunately, he came out, that why his marriage could be performed. Gulab Rao Patil has 17 cases against him, all political cases against him. Dada Saheb Bhuse, who worked day and night to establish Shiv Sena in his constituency or in his area. All these people are trash. Do we get elected because of you? I was also a MLA. when I was not in Sena. That time I had defeated Sena with a big margin. But I don't say that. We have everywhere in each constituency, the candidate have his own merit plus the party's vote. Every party have vote in various parts of Maharashtra or anywhere you go. And then if it is added with the party's vote, you get elected. And that's why I think he's young. He should not use Mr. Raut's language. He must follow his father, who is soft-spoken and the new face of Shiv Sena. And he worked like, because he has a great future. All of us love him and all of us want him to be a great leader. And that's why he must have the patience. He should not talk like Mr. Raut, and he should talk like Uddhav Sahib, who is very soft-spoken.
I'll ask you one last question. There is some talk that Mr. Shinde has spoken to Raj Thackeray of the MNS this morning. Is there possibility of you tying up with the MNS with Raj Thackeray? Would you prefer Raj Thackeray to Uddhav or Aditya as your future leader?
No, sir. Uddhav Sahib is our leader. Even Aditya ji is our leader. We respect them and we continue to be Shiv Sena in the Legislative Assembly. And our request is that the original party also led by Uddhav Sahib should make a pact, and MLAs will also, of course, will be in the new government, whosoever they appoint, and will form a good government and will take Maharashtra to a great height.
So therefore you are saying you do not want to split the Shiv Sena. You only want the Shiv Sena to come together, exit this government, join the BJP and form a new government. Am I correct? And by how soon will this new government be formed? Will Maharashtra get a new government by next week this time, or will you remain in Guwahati now for an extended break?
No, sir. I think they should take a decision at the earliest so that Maharashtra could have a government which is in majority and could rule nicely. Because whatever decisions you take when you are in a minority government, they are bound to be cancelled when the new government takes the charge.
So you are saying that you want a new government and Uddhav ji is still your leader. Uddhav ji is still your leader, but you want him to leave this government and join hands with the BJP. That is your only condition. Am I correct?
Certainly, sir. And the honor of Mr. Shinde should be kept in that government. As it is, he was supposed to become the CM of Maharashtra as per Uddhav Sahib's promise to him.